Want to buy a property at an online auction?
Better swing, better $300, $300, $300, anybody $300, $400.
Then you're in the right place. Online auctions have been growing in trend in the world of real estate. With the majority of Australians working from home, more people are taking interest in online auctions. In today's video, we're going to provide you with some pro tips for bidding at an online auction, as well as an advanced bidding technique called jump bidding, step by step. So keep watching. Nathan Vecchio here, mortgage broker with Mortgage Broker Brisbane Hunter Galloway, your home for home buyers around Australia. Yes, that's right. We work with home buyers right around Australia. In today's video, we're going to show you 3 steps to follow to help you bid confidently and successfully at an online auction. In fact, it was by understanding these very tactics at play that helped one of our customers successfully win an online auction recently using the jump bidding technique. And best of all, it was within their budget. So let's dive in, and remember to hit that subscribe button to keep up to date with all things property and finance. Tip number 1, do your research and due diligence. When buying a home, there's always a sneaking suspicion that you might have actually missed something. You're operating at a disadvantage with an auction, as when you bid and won the auction, there's no going back. The offer is unconditional, and unfortunately there's no single go-to place where you can get all the information you need prior to auction. If you don't do your research, there's a real risk of buying a home that's going to cost you thousands in repairs and also get you stuck with an unsellable property because there's something majorly wrong with it. In an ideal world, if only you could click a button and get a comprehensive report with every single detail of the property that you need to be aware of. Unfortunately, it doesn't quite work like that. However, I'm going to give you the next best thing, a simple process for researching and validating everything important with the potential property that you're interested in. Taking these steps does cost you both time and money, but the payoff is immense. Here are a few things to consider prior to auction. The first is research the property, suburbs, and surrounding areas. Now, we've covered how to research property in previous videos, and it's recommended to check out the property and its surrounding suburbs via RP Data CoreLogic. If you've got a mortgage broker, hit them up. They've got access usually to this at no cost. Using microburbs will also give you better data on the property and walk score, so you get a better idea of what the commutes are going to be like. The second is talk to your conveyancer or solicitor to complete some searches on the property. Typical searches completed are title searches, easements and encumbrance searches. They can also check if there've been any changes, such as a deck at the back that has been approved by the council. Yes, there are going to be costs associated with this. However, missing this and not paying for this is going to probably cost you more in the long run. So it's important to do your due diligence here. The third thing to research is a building and pest report. Building and pest reports are what I consider the most common and almost mandatory costs in buying a house. Now, with auctions, it is traditional for the seller to complete a building inspection prior to the property going to auction. You can get a copy of this from the real estate agent. These reports look at the building for its structural soundness as well as for pests to check out for white ants or even termites. Now, depending on how thorough this building and pest report is, you might also consider doing one yourself. A typical building and pest report costs about $400 to $500. The last thing to consider when researching your property is to check the cost of insurance. Did you know if the property is in a flood or fire zone that the cost of insurance can be significant? It pays to get a quote here and understand what the cost of insuring the property might be. Now we've covered the first step, we're going to look at the second step, which is understanding the online auction process. Now, there are 2 ways an online auction can be done. The first is by way of live streaming. This is very similar to a normal auction. However, the main difference being is that it's completed via correspondence. This is often referred to as live streaming online auction. There are registered bidders that are approved to bid prior to the auction. The live stream runs with bidders remotely bidding in separate locations via their phone or laptops, and the auctioneer can accept or decline the bid. As well as with auctions, if the reserve price isn't met, the auctioneer can actually pick up the phone and negotiate with the highest bidder. Agents typically use platforms such as Gavel, Auction Now, or Anywhere auctions. You will need to register your interest by creating an account on one of the above platforms. The real estate agent will tell you which platform they're using. In the platform, you'll need to submit 100 points of ID. Usually that's your driver's license, Medicare and passport, as well as put your credit card details down on the platform. And there's usually a holding deposit of $1,500 placed on your credit card before the auction day. The real estate agent will then need to approve you as a bidder to allow you to access the online auction. Now, the second way an auction can be conducted online is through an open or time-based option. Similar to selling an item on eBay, there's a start time and there's a finish time, as well as minimum bid increments. The second method is referred to as a genuine time online auction. The auction is overseen by an auctioneer virtually. As the auction progresses and gets closer to the end, platforms extend the auction finish time by 5 minutes if there's a late bid with less than 1 minute to go. This allows time for counter bids and gives everyone a chance to bid higher. The process is easy and transparent, and you see where the bids are up to throughout the auction real time. Platforms real estate agents use here are sold online and open negotiation. So now we've covered how an online auction works, we're going to look at the third step, which is online auction bidding techniques. No doubt bidding at auction is super stressful, especially if you fall in love with the property and you'll do whatever it takes to get it. Never fear, as we've got some auction bidding techniques that'll get you bidding like a pro. I'm going to start with some pro tips, and then we're going to move on to a technique called jump bidding. So looking at some pro bidding techniques, well, it goes without saying, however, ensure you have your finances sorted through your mortgage broker prior to entering into an auction. Did you know at Mortgage Broker Brisbane, Hunter Galloway, we help hundreds of buyers across Australia successfully finance and purchase properties at auction? The second pro tip is fix your price limit and pledge not to exceed it, regardless of what happens on the auction day. The limit you set should be uneven, because bids usually occur in multiples of 10,000, 5,000, or 1,000. For example, if you set your limit at 503,000, that extra 3,000 could be the difference between you winning and losing the auction. The third pro tip here is don't become emotional during the auction. Put your bid in as soon as you're notified that another bid has been placed, and stay focused. Don't exceed your price limit no matter what happens, and avoid overextending yourself. The last pro tip here is, if you can't trust yourself with the above, enlist the help of a trusted advisor, such as your accountant or even a buyer's agent. Have them do the bidding for you, and this will ensure any emotionally fueled in the moment decisions are left out. Okay, now we've covered the pro tips, I wanted to go through a more advanced technique that has actually helped one of our customers recently win an auction. It's called the jump bidding technique, which is practiced by increasing the current price at the auction substantially more than the minimum allowed. Effectively, you want to start higher and get rid of your competition. Now, at first glance, jump bidding seems irrational. In an auction, it is a dominant strategy for each buyer to always bid a minimum increment above the current bid. By bidding slightly higher, the bidder gives up the opportunity to win at that lower price. However, jump bidding is about putting your best foot forward to succeed at an online auction. Bid strong at the start of the auction, close to your limit. Bidding boldly at the beginning is more likely to discourage others from bidding and thereby enhancing your chances of winning. Now, here's an example to ponder over. Suppose the initial purchase price of a property going to auction is $500,000. The minimal increments is $10,000. And in this example, there's two bidders, Kate and John, going for the same property. Without jump bidding, the auction will start. John will start the bidding at $510,000. Kate will increase the bid to $520,000. John to come back at $530,000, and Kate to come in at $540,000. And then John, well, he quits. So Kate wins the auction at $540,000. But if John jumped from $500,000 to $540,000 at the first bid, then Kate might have quit and John won the auction and paid $540,000. And there you have it, you're in the know. So now it's over to you. Are you looking to buy a place? Did you know at Mortgage Broker Brisbane, Hunter Galloway, we help people across Australia So whether you're looking to refinance or purchase, you're in good hands. Simply reach out and call us on 1300 088 066 or visit us online at huntergalloway.com.au. And as always, thanks for watching.